You can hear every note. I'm on a quest to kind of figure out why his playing sounds like that. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lone University. It's time for another bonus episode here on a Sunday. You guys know the drill by now. I do a random drawing from all the requests I received over on Patreon last month. Thanks to all of you over there for sending these in. Here is the full spreadsheet, and I think this is the most amount of requests I've gotten so far in a single month. We're up to 191, and lots of variety reading through these, so let's jump over here, 1 through 191, and let the random number generator gods decide, as always. Whatever's on line 167 is what I'm hearing today. Let's go down and check it out. 167, that is Descendents, Here With Me, requested by Ian. We just did some Descendents last month. Happy to do them again. Only got 8 votes. Let's jump right into it. Descendents, Here With Me. And this is, from the first album, I believe. Milo, is it? Milo gets bootlegged. Sexy bass lines already. Okay. I thought this might be Milo Goes to College. I've not heard that full record yet. I just saw Milo something. But the bass playing strikes me as KARL ALVAREZ's bass playing, just moving around. Granted, I've only heard one song played by Tony Lombardo, so I hope I'm right on this one. Nonetheless, the bass is up front. It's got a lead, bold approach right in the intro, outlining some higher chords. Just the sexy stuff I've come to know from this band, probably KARL. I'm going to go back and start that one over. Cool setup. Cool progression. Down here in A. Got the F sharp minor thrown in, but right out of the gate you hear a lot of. Okay, one more time. I want to kind of pick out exactly what he's doing there. Yeah. Cool how he's sort of picking out notes from those really rich guitar chords. Listen to the guitar chords. You can hear how it's not just a power chord. There's a lot of extra notes, a lot of ringing out. I feel like the bass is jumping in and complementing that and kind of making that whole effect of the blossoming guitar chords even bigger, which is a cool thing you can do on bass sometimes is when you have guitar players who play like that, bigger chords, sometimes it's good to get into their range and kind of compete with them a bit because it might feel like you're competing with them, but actually you're complimenting them and kind of making the effect of their chords even bigger. And that sounds like a page out of that playbook right here. See how they all work together? Yeah, that's got to be KARL. And the reason I know it's KARL, I'm going pretty confident here, is that when he plays 8th notes, it doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like it's just kind of one note and you're like, is it subdivided or is it just quarter notes? I can really tell when he subdivides. It sounds like, it almost sounds like he's doing that. There's just something about his tone or the way his compressors maybe work. Maybe he's not using any compression and it's really all in the hands. It's a mix of both. There's something unique about the way his notes have a separation to them. And it almost makes me think, is his action really high? Because sometimes you kind of get that effect. You got to really, it's the way the string kind of vibrates when you have high action. It just has a really dedicated thump to every note. which is kind of a benefit you get from higher action. I've been playing around with that off and on over the years. But just listen to the separation on these bass notes right here. You can just hear every subdivision. Right here. You just hear it. So I love that kind of signature thing about his bass playing. Okay, let's let it ride a bit. See, little stuff like that is super sexy too. Listen to how the bass and the vocals joined in on, it became in unison together. All my friends. That stuff shows that there's like kind of a marriage between the rhythm section and the lead vocal figure. So I like when bands will compose in that way, because sometimes you hear a song and it's like vocals and guitar and keys are over here just kind of doing their own thing, and bass and drums are doing their own thing. There's plenty of songs where that formula works too, but I like songs where every now and then everybody kind of holds hands for a minute musically. It just feels cohesive to me. But what I'm talking about is right here. When I'm hanging out with all my friends. Everyone's in unison just for the all my friends, even on the same note, I believe there. Something still holds back my smile. Right there again. Something tells me they're the enemy, cause you're not here with me. No, you're not here with me. Another instance, just listen to the subdivision. You can hear every note. I'm on a quest to kind of figure out why his playing sounds like that. It's almost staccato. And I know she was everything. When everybody's having fun, I sit and stare at everyone, back to myself again. I gotta say, this song's a lot easier to follow than Maddie. Jesus Christ. Last month, that's probably the most colorful, quirky, I would almost call it avant-garde in terms of the chord structure, the chord progression, just all over the place. That was such a fun one to review. This feels a bit more pulling from songs like I'm the One, where there's a few curveballs thrown in, but it feels really reasonable within the framework of the progression. This is very much based around, I'm going to say, there's a couple accidents here. They're kind of feel like they're jumping between E major and A major. That's another thing you can do compositionally, is pick two keys that just have one note difference and use that difference in notes, that one discrepancy between the two keys. Use that as sort of a pivot chord or a pivot note just to add some extra color, and then really you get kind of the benefits of both keys. So I'm not quite sure if that's what they're doing, but it sounds like they're straddling A major and E major, where the difference is that D sharp, because I hear it thrown in every now and then. If that's correct, that's kind of what it sounds like to me. Yeah. I took a walk outside along the beach, watched the waves roll on the shore. The things I felt before aren't there. And he inverted the chord there. It goes by quick. The things right there. Flips the chord progression on its head, even if it's just one chord. So you take a normal, like G major chord, and the bass plays the B, so then you kind of get this chord. I'll play it higher, sounds a little better. So you go from this to this. Or you could put it in the second version, put the fifth on the bottom, and you still get a G major with the D in the bass, the 5 in the bass. So it's a cool way to maybe take a chord that's been happening a lot and give it a different twist, but not change the chord at all. The bass gets to do that. And just for a split second, you can hear it happening right here.
Watch the waves roll on the shore.
Right here.
The things I felt before aren't there anymore. Not anymore.
Subtle.
'Cause you're not here with me. No, you're
Yeah, I keep hearing this move. The tritone jump, A, D sharp, E. Doesn't sound like a tritone in context, but that's... Okay, I'm going to walk back what I said. I don't think there's any D natural in here. I don't really think I've heard it. So we're largely based in E major, I believe. It has all the right ingredients for it. But I felt like earlier I might have. But nonetheless, my point talking about the key was that it's unlike Maddie. That was every 2 bars was jumping keys, almost like a circle of fifths movement. I can't quite recall. But this one's a lot easier to follow in that terms. It's really staying in the box of E major. Still using all of the chords available. It's not like it's 1-4-5, 1-4-5. I hear a lot of G sharp minor. I hear a lot of A major. I hear a lot of B major. They went to the F sharp. So still colorful in the sense that they're using pretty much every chord available within E major. Maybe not the diminished, but making full use of it so it still has that colorful, lots of chord progressions type of sound. Okay.
not here with me. And everybody's having fun, but not me. I sit and stare at everyone. Back to myself again.
That's cool. I love when a bass player will go up, maybe higher up into the range of somebody taking a solo, in this instance, the guitar solo, and join in with them for a second as their solo ends. It's a really nice way to let the listener know it's kind of resolving. And KARL jumps up to, I think, a high B, which is the same fill he's been doing every now and then outside of this solo. I've heard a lot of that. So cool nod to the solo there to jump up. It's almost like the bass player is jumping up and saying, hey, you're wrapping up. I'm going to come up here and get you. We're going to go back down to where we were in the song. Just listen to that unfold musically right here. I really like it. It's just tasteful stuff from a bass playing perspective. It's grooving.
Back to myself again.
Brings them back down. Pretty cool.
Back to myself again. Wet sand on a foggy beach, the sky is gray.
Nice. Back to the intro.
Keep working, stay busy. Don't think about. Keep working, stay busy. Don't think about.
I love the guitar chords here. Okay, I talk about this point a lot. The song's over. I just want to point this one thing out. Listen to how the vocal melody holds that single note there. I think it was an A. Maybe A, G sharp. I'll have to hear it again. Nonetheless, the vocal melody rides on one note. And everything changes around it. It's like it becomes the sun and everything's orbiting it musically. And I want you to listen for how different intervals and chords are formed in relation to that note that stays the same. Everyone else is changing around it. Because I talk about this a lot. I feel like I've mentioned this in previous videos. Like the bass line stays the same and the chord changes under it. Or the guitar chords stay the same and the bass line changes under it. This is kind of the point I'm talking about. When one person stays constant, everyone changes around them, it creates a lot of byproduct of other chords and intervals. And I just love the effect to my ears that it has. And it's really cool to kind of close the song with that as well. Listen. G sharp. One more time, I'm going to play along with it. You can kind of hear the music clash with my note a bit. Hear all the clashing? It ends on the third. Very cool. Well, unlike other random drawing episodes where I don't even know who the band is, I have heard Descendents. They're one of my favorites so far, and all of the punk rock I've discovered. I'm actually kind of glad this one was drawn because I felt really stumped reviewing Maddie. It was just a crazy chord change, key change type of song. This felt more, I like how that song gives this one context now, because this one felt very straight and square in comparison, but still a very colorful song that explored all of the tonalities within a diatonic scale. E major, adventurous, bold bass playing as usual, never sitting in one place too long. And you can just tell KARL ALVAREZ has a really good intuition for complementing other instruments in the composition. You know, I spend a lot of time talking about bass lines that are independent and nobody, creating its own melody in the song and just not latching onto anything, and that being a cool factor of the part. But there's the other side of that coin where you can still do that like he is, jumping everywhere on bass, but still going by the guitar solo and jumping up and joining it in a higher range and bringing it down, or lining up with the vocals for just a couple beats. So that kind of awareness musically is just the hallmark of an amazing player. I'm such a big fan of this band and their playing. So thanks to the random number generator gods for drawing more Descendents. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. If you'd like to support this channel further, please come find us over on Patreon. I do full albums over there. We've done about 20 punk albums so far. Everything Sucks by Descendents being one of them. I really fell in love with that album, and I hope to do more Descendents over there soon. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that now. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.